So, next up, we have some very encouraging action that we are seeing from schools and cities when it comes to generative AI. According to a report from Wired magazine, New York City schools announced that they are about to reverse their ban on ChatGPT and generative AI tools, which they had previously enacted, fearing this technology. And they actually said that, quote, we are doing this because the reality that our students are participating in and will work in a world where understanding generative AI is crucial. Now, at the same time, we saw a really interesting memo come out of the city of Boston. The city's chief information officer actually sent guidelines to every city official, encouraging them to start using generative AI and to start understanding its potential. And the city also turned on Google Bard as part of the Google Workspace tools that they already pay for and have everyone onboarded to. This is being termed kind of a quote, responsible experimentation approach. And it is, as far as we can tell, the first municipal policy of its kind in the US. So, Paul, I know this grabbed your attention and you had posted on LinkedIn about it. Can you give us a little more context here about why this is important?
I mean, I just kudos to the city of Boston, and I don't know if it's their I don't know who's like spearheading this. If it is the chief information officer, it's their communications team or mayor. I don't know, but it's just really well done. And as a communications professional, like kind of by trade, just really impressive the way they rolled this out. And it's a really good example of what we've been teaching and telling people is like you have to have generative AI policies. And so I loved their example. And you could, in the Wired article, there was a link to go download not only their policies, but the email that was sent to, to the staff. And so I just want to call attention to a couple of things. So the email just says City of Boston guidelines for use of AI, Google Bard now available for use. Starts off with Happy AI Day. I did find myself wondering if they used GPT-4 to write some of this because it's actually like really, really clever. Um, but it presents it as interim guidelines. It gets into why they're doing it. It gets into what is generative AI. So it says like over the past several weeks, we've seen a publicly available release of new tools termed generative AI. It goes into kind of what they are. For instance, we use them for spam detection, autocomplete, and Google Translate. It can also produce writing, videos, audio. They're evolving rapidly. So it's like very educational. And then it gets into why we've created guidelines. And they say we want to encourage people to test and learn how these tools work while minimizing the risks. And then it underlined in bold, the city knows that our workforce is the most valuable asset we have as part of our work. We are not, again, all bold, we are not planning to replace a broad part of our workforce with AI, but we think there's an opportunity to empower our workforce to improve the quality and efficiency of our work and even embrace possibilities that extend beyond our current capabilities. We don't expect any imminent impacts throughout the city. And then it goes into the guidelines. And again, now imagine like from a corporate perspective, think about a brand perspective. Like you could take this exact approach and like do this with your organization. Again, all bold and underlined. Generative AI is a tool. We are responsible for the outcomes of our tools. For example, if autocorrect unintentionally changes a word, changing the meaning of something we write, we are still responsible for the text. Technology enables our work. It does not excuse our judgment or our accountability. I just love that. Like, I mean, again, it's so well done. Someone did their homework and really thought this through. Um, they give 3 quick tips like fact check and review all content generated by AI, especially if it's going to be used in public communication and decision making, which again, we've talked about before, like the risk of error and the impact that error could occur. So this is saying like, if it's really important stuff, you cannot make mistakes. They want people to disclose they've used AI to generate content and not to share sensitive or private information. And then they lead into here's next steps. We have a Slack channel with a using AI hashtag. They have a training event coming up for their internal team that you can register for. And then you can go download the guidelines, which is like 8 pages. It's got purpose, it's got sample use cases, principle. I mean, it's just brilliantly done. So just kudos to the communications department at the city of Boston. It's a great precedent for what other cities should be doing. And it's, I think, a really good example of what brands should be doing. So yeah, I just think it's great. Go read the article, click on the example. There's a PDFs of these documents available publicly. And Yeah, use it to inspire action in your own company. I mean, it's a great example of what can be done pretty quickly.
That's awesome. And yeah, we'll also drop in the show notes. We should mention that we have kind of a responsible AI V1 policy on our website that anyone is also free to use. It's short and, like we said, first draft, but useful under a Creative Commons license if you'd like to take some language from that.